sports. It's not easy for her, but each time she gets back up and tries again, demonstrating perseverance to girls and boys of all ages. Check out the end of each story where Shelly Bean reflects on her day and what she has accomplished, and then rewards herself by making a new sports term for her crown. Don't take it just from me, and I have read Shelly's books. Book reviewer Rebecca Flansburgh wrote, I love the representation of diversity in this picture book that would appeal to both boys and girls. Friends like Parisa, who swims in her hijab. Once again, I'm bad with pronunciations. Nobody should take it personally when I mispronounce something. Hijab, right? Swimsuit, and Mason, who uses a wheelchair on dry land but can swim like a fish in the water. Again, that's from book reviewer Rebecca Flansburgh. So to purchase your copies, go to ShellyBeanTheSportsQueen.com and enter code LynxCoachReeve at checkout. You will save 15% off the cover price. And if you check out the website, Shelly always has some package deals and some cool peripheral stuff you can purchase as well. ShellyBeanTheSportsQueen.com, code LynxCoachReeve. Martin Luther King Day has come and gone, and once again, this is really not a journalistic interview show. This is a conversation, so I'll just open up to you to say whatever you want about the subject.
Well, I was just really thrilled how our organization spent Martin Luther King Day this year. In that, as an organization, typically it's a day off. And we made a decision as an organization that we were going to be doing something different, and so it was more of a day of service to honor the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King the best way possible. I actually was thrilled to be able to be a part of what was the third largest breakfast in the country that honored the legacy of Martin Luther King, and the keynote speaker was Don Lemon from CNN, and so. It was an early morning, but I would have risen at 4 a.m. To be able to go and sharing that. There was 2,500 people at the Armory, which, by the way, to see the renovated Armory was really cool.
It's fantastic.
Had not seen that. I'd heard there were going to be renovations, but that's a really nice facility. I know they used it for the Super Bowl, but it was my first time being inside, so it was beautiful setting, beautiful people, obviously, beautiful messages. It was moving. Those are some really, really special times, and I'm just really thrilled that our organization, thought that was important. Our entire executive team was there, and then obviously during the when we were done with the breakfast, there was some community service work that we did.
I've gotten to be in the Armory for a couple of events. One of them is Jamal James. He's a boxer from kind of the Midtown area in Minneapolis, and he's a great guy. St. Cara Frazier is his trainer. They're really tremendous people, and they have the Circle of Discipline gym, and they use it not just to develop boxers, but also to provide a haven for people who are trying to escape, the challenges that someone in that neighborhood might have.
Mm-hmm.
And they're tremendous people. They're going to have another title fight in February. So if you're interested in boxing, check out Jamal James. He's just a great guy.
That's a great facility.
It is. I've always had a couple of areas of reference for, my interests when it comes to reading both fiction and nonfiction. And for a long time, I was really fascinated by the Civil War. And I lived on the East Coast, and we would go to Antietam, we'd go to Gettysburg, and we went to D.C. all the time. So I had a great, grasp of what those places were like. And as I got older, I became more interested in World War II, and then I became more interested in the 60s, civil rights, and I think, what I don't ever want to see happen with Martin Luther King Jr. Day, MLK Day, is people forget that this wasn't a simple story. Mm-hmm. And this isn't just, okay, Martin Luther King, what a great guy, and he was hated. Mm-hmm. He was attacked. He was attacked by the establishment. He was hounded by the FBI. He was murdered for what he believed in. This is not just a nice little holiday. That's right. This is incredibly important. It's also incredibly frightening how really all he wanted was equality.
That's right.
All he wanted. He just wanted equality.
Yep.
And he was attacked for it, and he was incredibly he's popular now.
Right.
He was not popular then.
Well, obviously we've evolved as a people, from the 60s. We're still talking about many of the same things, but there's no question about it, that I think that if he were here today, physically here today, that he would be impressed, I think, with the progress, but would still be passionate about how far we have to go. But as you said, he was not a popular person, and all of us, we didn't live. I was around. '66 was my first year. I wasn't, as an infant, I wasn't aware of things that were going on. But many people that are our age that lived during that time, in their 40s and 50s and 60s, were not in favor of what Martin Luther King stood for, as much as we are today. And so. I wish he could see it. I wish he could be here and walk the walk with us. And but without people like him and sacrifices that he made, we're not sitting here and enjoying some of the progress that we have made.
And this is not an overtly political show, but I will say that one of my favorite politicians is John Lewis, because the man walked across the bridge and got his skull cracked.
Yeah,
and
unbelievable stories.
And then he went into public service
Yep.
to help make this. And those are the people we should celebrate. And in Martin Luther King Jr.'s honor. Okay, off the soapbox here. So Temi Fagbenle, did I get that name right?
You did, yeah. That's great.
Thank God. She went to the MVP of the Polish Cup, and also former Gopher Amanda Zawibi, who I actually did a story on back when she was with the Gophers, was awarded the Sport Mirror Award at Sweden's prominent sports gala. First about Temi. Tell me about how she's playing. I know you're keeping track.
She just continues her momentum that really started last year in her the same team she plays for now, where she just playing gives you confidence, and she plays on a EuroLeague team, so she's playing against good competition. And so each time she plays, she's just getting more confident. You're getting older, so you're collecting knowledge. She knows how to use the knowledge. That's my favorite thing about Temi, is that if you tell her something, she's going to do it. And so she might ask why. She might need to understand. I'm okay with those things, because if it makes you understand what you're doing, why you're doing it, and you can do it better, I think that's really important. And so Temi just continues with her momentum. I thought she came off of last off season into our season, getting more minutes and kind of carving out her spot for last year's team. And then so she goes over to Poland and is again doing more and more for that team. And as you mentioned, MVP of the Polish Cup. That's just a tremendous honor, and I know she's particularly excited. And she's also competing for her national team, Great Britain. They qualified for Eurobasket, which if they go there and they do well, they can qualify for the Olympics. And so it's a great time in Temi's basketball life, and really happy for her. And Amanda, I don't know a lot about the award. I know it sounds like it was a pretty big deal. And same thing for Amanda. This is a player that is 4 years into the league and really finding her footing, and her value overseas is really high. And she plays for her Swedish national team, and so it's a really good player.
I did a story on her when she was here, and her mother and her parents were in town, so we kind of timed it so I could talk to her parents and put it out while they were still in town too. And her mother came up to me after I interviewed her and said, "Do you think she has a chance to be a pro?" And she's become a very good pro.
She has, yeah.
I don't have a lot else we're going to get to today. Any other thoughts you have on either what's going on with your team or your players overseas?
No, we had a nice week where we had Sylvia Fowles in town. I felt bad for her. It's probably been some of the coldest days that we've had this winter. And she's coming up from the Miami area, so that was quite the sacrifice on her part. But while she was here, she got cleared to play. So she's on the other side of her injury, which is really good. Spent some time with Danielle, with AJ. Simone was here for a little bit. And then she's going to pluck these guys out of Minnesota and invite them down to her place in Miami for
They'll
workouts.
Appreciate that.
They were very excited about the opportunity.
So she's living in Miami these days?
Yeah, just outside of Miami.
Cool.
Yep.
Probably got LeBron's old place, right?
That's exactly what it is. Yeah, how'd you know that?
We'll get a final thought from Cheryl on any topic she so chooses. I do want to thank our friends Gloria Ramsey of SuccessfulMarketingGroup.com. Again, SuccessfulMarketingGroup.com/Cheryl Reeve for your free 45-minute action plan and conversation with Glory. And as far as Shelly being the sports queen, go to ShellyBeingTheSportsQueen.com and enter the code Lynx Coach Reeve to get 15% off the cover price of her books. And again, they have a bunch of cool packages. If you have kids, I highly recommend the book series. Final thought, Cheryl.
Just a big congratulations to the New York Liberty in the sale of their team. We get out from under an owner that just wasn't committed to the WNBA and finding its success. And So we now have new ownership, and that transfers, I believe it's already happened, and so now they're officially owned by one of the minority owners from the Brooklyn Nets. So things are looking up for the New York team.
Great stuff from Cheryl. As always, we'll be back next week. Check out all the shows at TalkNorth.com. Subscribe at iTunes or your favorite podcast app. And thanks to everybody who's made Talk North a success.